As I paused it. Amazing. Good day, good day. Hello, everybody. Holy moly. 59 people are piling into the call here. Where is the chat thingy? There we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Changemaker and Residency Week. I hope that you're in the right session today. Today's session right now we're starting is called Changemaking 101. And I'm assuming you signed up because you want to learn a little bit about what CCSI is, maybe what changemaking is, and a few of these other crazy terminologies that you've heard floating around all the social media and through the center. My name is Adam, and I am the community animator for the Center for Changemaking and Social Innovation. I will be hosting the session today. Today with me, I also have the amazing Shay, I think over here virtually. Is this a high five on your screen? Can you? Yeah, look at that. It's almost like we know what we're doing. Virtual high five. I will let her introduce herself here.
I am Shayla McKay. I'm a recent graduate from the Social Service Worker program at Georgian College. I'm currently the CI CAN intern at the Center for Changemaking and Social Innovation. I get to do a lot of work with Adam, who is amazing, and a lot of work with the other team members, so I'm super excited to be here. Beautiful.
Right, so we got a few more people trickling in. Again, it's going to be a super fun, quick, and energetic session. It's more of an info session in the sense that you don't have to worry about any intimidating breakout rooms or answering any crazy questions that you don't want to answer. If you want to pop open your chat, Shay's going to be putting links and stuff in there. We have a few interactive polls that we're going to get you to click on and vote on. If you want to throw your camera on, that's amazing. We can see your beautiful smiling faces. Does everybody know where the reactions button is in their Zoom window, that smiley face with the plus symbol at the bottom? Can you guys give me a thumbs up or anything, or a clap to let me know that you can hear me and see me? Beautiful, real live thumbs up. I like those too. Just for, for technical front-loading housekeeping stuff, we're going to be recording the session, so it's going to be available for later, so you can tune in and get all this later. We'll include all the links. And yeah, basically the way it's going to work, very shortly, I'm going to do a screen share, and you can sit back and relax. I'm going to do a screen share, and basically we're going to go through this kind of impromptu board game through the adventure of Charlie, and we're going to learn a little bit about change making. Shay, would you be able just to front load us a little bit with what you got queued up for us?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just waiting for everybody to keep joining in. We still got people trickling in, but before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge that Georgian College and all of our campuses are situated on the traditional land of the Anishinaabe people. The Anishinaabe include the Odawa, the Ojibwe, and the Potawatomi nations, collectively known as the Three Fires Confederacy. Georgian College is dedicated to honoring the Indigenous history and culture and committing to moving forward in the spirit of reconciliation and respect with all First Nation, Métis, and Inuit people. I am joining in from Owen Sound, the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe-Waukee, the Odawa, and the Mississauga. So that's what I am. If you have an idea where you're from, put it in the little chat.
Thank you very much for doing the heavy lifting on that, Shay. I am currently sitting and broadcasting live from Aurelia, Ontario, which is part of the Haudenosaunee.
Haudenosaunee, yeah.
There you go. Thank you very much for all your help with that. I'm going to just keep clicking admit. I'm going to maybe one more second here before we get going. All right, so I'm going to do a screen share now, guys. So just make sure you can hear the audio. Just front loading one more thing. Notoriously with this session, when we run it, since we're so crazy and amazing, we tend to explode the internet. So about halfway through, sometimes my computer might freeze and I will destroy the internet. So I will actually just letting you know that may happen, but Shay is amazing and she's going to keep the conversation going if I have to reboot and come back. But that's just the world that we live in right now. So I'm going to do a screen share here, and you just got to give me a thumbs up to let me know if Let's find that button first. Here we go. Doop-a-doo. Let's do this and share. Hopefully you can see a giant game board. Can I see some thumbs up in the chat? All right, amazing, amazing. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom right in here. I think I can. Just keep swimming. All right, so let me move my mic over here. And I'm not being rude. Just the screen I'm looking at's over here, and also this is a better view of my face, so I'm not ignoring you guys. My camera's over here, but I'm going to be looking over here. So today you have managed to click on a series of buttons, register for the right event, and today you're going to participate in the Changemaking Pathway Ultra Adventure. And so what happens in this session is we're just going to take Charlie, this amazing skateboarding bear that I've generated here. Hopefully, can you see him moving around a little bit, everybody? All right, so things are running smoothly so far. So I'm gonna move Charlie along this amazing game board that I've made, and I'm just gonna have a bunch of talking points, and hopefully you're gonna learn a few things that you may learn in this session. You're gonna learn about the Center for Changemaking and Social Innovation. And yes, that is a real place. We're gonna figure out who Charlie is, Charlie Changemaker, the bear. You're going to create or learn about creating your Changemaker avatar and setting up your Changemaker profile. I'm going to assume that some of you maybe have already done this because, oh, you cannot hear me. I'm yelling really loud and I even have like a nice microphone. Maybe turn up your microphone or turn up your, we are hearing you. All right, I can hear you. Okay, there we go. Amazing. So I'm assuming, did you guys participate just by, again, a show of thumbs up or anything like that, or throw it in the chat? Did you guys do the Grizzly Go instruction manual or the Changemaker Challenge instruction manual where you were asked to create your avatar and set up your Changemaker profile and stuff like that? Yes, yes, yes. The boot camp. Yeah, it's been called several things, so don't be confused. I'm confused and I built it. So we completed the boot camp. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, cool. So you guys already kind of know a little bit about what's going on here. So you are going to learn about pathways, which you've heard about. You're going to have a rough idea about what change making is. And then the next steps is how to get involved, which again, if you've already made your profile, you guys are already like headed in the right path. So I'm going to read this little blurb right here. I'm going to keep myself zoomed right in because again, I'm not sure how well you can see this when I'm doing a screen share. So what is the Center for Changemaking and Social Innovation? Well, at the Center for Changemaking and Social Innovation, we are your coaches. Whoa, my mouse is being crazy. Oh, I know why. There we go. Hold on, take two. What's going on here? Hold on, my mouse is being crazy. There we go. We're back. Okay, at the Center for Changemaking and Social Innovation, we are your coaches and guide for building out your change-making journey at Georgian. Everything from hosting workshops and events, just like this one, and Changemaker and Residency Week, and giving you access to social innovation tools and resources. We are here to help and figure out how your studies can be applied to a purpose that involves change-making. So when I talk about a purpose that involves change making, I'm talking about taking whatever you're taking at Georgian and learning how to attach and supercharge what you're doing at Georgian with change making. So when we're going to talk about pathways in a little bit, it's helping you identify which type of change maker you want to be, and then you can attach that, and then you can kind of start meshing those things with what you're doing. So an example, if you're a nursing student, you may identify with like the activist change-making pathway. So then you can start to seek out programming and messaging from the center that has to do with activist change-making. And then how do you apply that to your nursing and become a nursing supercharged activist? I know it's a lot, but it will all make sense, hopefully a little bit more as we move along. So there you go. So that's a little bit in a top level. And trust me, I work for the center. I've been working for the center for just over a year and I'm still figuring this stuff out. So don't be worried if you hear the word change a lot during this conversation. Change making, change maker, and you still don't get it, because that's totally okay. I work for them and I still don't fully know. All right, so right along here. So I'm gonna move Charlie along to the first one here. And this is gonna be a quick little thing we're gonna throw into the chat real quick. What do you think change making is? If you wanna take a second, pop open the chat portion of Zoom, your Zoom call there, and maybe just throw what you might, based on my immediate ramblings and what you've read on the internet, what do you think change making is? Bringing change to yourself and society, making difference for the better. Oh yeah. Volunteering, improving. So good. Being an advocate for the difference in the community. Change and self-care. Oh my gosh, you guys are lighting it up here. So good. Beneficial. Continuous growth. Yeah, a lot of mention of community. We talk about with change making and at the center, that ripple effect. So you start with that small impact. We talk about creating a ripple or creating an impact. So it's that starting with you and those small little bits of change that again broadcast out further and further and beyond Georgian and beyond yourself, beyond your social circle, into your community and regionally and globally as well. So we talk a lot about that. So really cool. And I love it because all these are the right answers. So basically you guys are amazing. And this is it. You don't even need to do the session. You already know what change making is. So we can probably just stop the recording. I'll share the link and we're done. Okay, we'll go a little bit further because I still have 40 minutes. Okay, so that's amazing. You guys are all right. Those are LOL, bye. See you later. Cool. All right, so I'm going to slide right down here. Hopefully Charlie is still skateboarding on your screen. So right down here. So here at the Center for the Change Making and Social Innovation, we're always looking up new ways to help create better engagements for students and the programming and the messaging of change making. So through this, we've started to just dabble a little bit in augmented reality. Now that we're all living and working and learning in these virtual spaces here, how do we take that a little bit further? Before the pandemic, we were doing a lot of in-class workshops and coming up with cool ways. We're doing lots of street team stuff and awesome meetups and social engagements and pop-up things. So we're trying to, just like everybody, pivoting and figuring out what we can do to still get highly engaged activities and messaging across. So part of this is we've invested and started building out in an app called Roar. You don't have to download this right now. If you did the boot camp, you were, I think, told to download the app. So basically, it's basically like a QR scanner. It's an augmented reality, which is essentially you'll scan using your smartphone, scan an augmented reality target image, and then additional information will pop out like total Matrix style, like Minority Report. It's basically just an ability to, it just creates a little more depth and interaction between your computer screen or printed material. We actually ran augmented reality enhanced images within the student handbook this year. So you could actually scan an image on the page and then additional information would pop up with clickable links and videos and stuff like that. So again, we're just getting going with it. We're still learning. So if you have downloaded it later on in this session, there'll be the ability to try it out. If you don't care and are confused, that is okay as well. It's just one of the little things that we are doing to start to build in and try to bridge this gap between digital and analog and trying to come up with fun ways to engage with our change-making community. So Charlie's going to move right along to number 2. Oh yeah, and just in case you're wondering how long this session goes for, we go 1 to 10 with these numbers. So don't worry, it doesn't go to like 1 to 35 and you're like, man, I gotta eat lunch. Don't worry, it's super fast and furious because I live my life a quarter mile at a time. A famous Vin Diesel once said. Okay, so we're on number 2, which is a video here. I'm gonna share a quick little video. Hopefully, let's see if I can do this. Let's pop this open here. You may have already seen this video. Does it look like a big black box on your screen, Shay, with a play button? Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Welcome, Grizzlies! You don't know it yet, but you have just started at Canada's first and only Changemaker College. So what is a Changemaker? It's someone that sees an opportunity to make a positive difference and seeks the knowledge and resources to make that happen. Here at the Center for Changemaking and Social Innovation, we are your coaches and guides for building out your change-making journey at Georgian. From hosting workshops and events and giving you access to social innovation tools and resources, we are here to help. Don't understand any of this? No problem. Just look for Charlie.
Okay, that was a riveting video with a with a handsome looking memoji that was created for this purpose. Okay, so in that video, I don't reference, the avatar of me references that we are your coaches and guides for seeking out the information and resources to make the change happen. So what we're trying to do at the center is help you self-identify as a type of change maker, learn about the change you want to see, and then you can work and connect with us through programming and messaging and other resources we have to actually put that change into place. Something that I will mention briefly, we're going to go down here. Charlie's going to go around to number 3 is part of being a change maker college. It's a pretty huge deal for the college. It was a lot of work to get the designation. We are part of the Ashoka we're an Ashoka Changemaker campus. Again, there's a lot of information coming at you. Don't worry about this, but just know that we worked really hard to get this designation, and talk about how everything we do through the college and through the center, we are trying to, sometimes we use the term, the change is in our DNA. And basically we're just wanting to empower everybody with the knowledge and the resources that if they have an idea, we can connect you with the right people and resources to help put that into place. So that's basically, in essence, what we're about. And we worked really hard to get the designation, which connects us to a much larger global network of other changemaker campuses and universities. So very important. You can put a pin in that and learn about that later, but I did want to mention it here. So Charlie's going to go right along over top of this not so chill alligator. He's going to take a little bit of a detour, and he's going to come around here to number 4. So let's go down here. So in that video, I mentioned if you are confused or don't know about what I'm talking about, which is very likely at this point, just to look for Charlie. So right here, this big orange and white bear, Charlie, and you've heard the name Charlie a lot. Charlie is essentially there you go. I did attend this conference. It was like an ocean of knowledge. There you go. So Charlie essentially is the symbol that we've come up with at the center to show that change is happening. Either you're a change maker yourself, that you're supporting it, or that it's happening around your campus or your city, or as an individual act. So it's basically a way to broadcast to the world that change is happening, you're a part of it, or that you're supporting it, or that you believe in it, or that you're actively building something. So again, when we were allowed on campus and the way things used to be, you used to be able to walk around into classrooms and see on people's laptops and on their notebooks and their lockers, these stickers and stuff starting to appear as people participated in events and built up and started connecting with their network of other change makers. So right down here, I'll just spin this little tale for you about so basically when we had to pitch the idea of change making and Charlie to the higher ups at the college, we had to weave it into what already existed with the college and basically sell it. There you go. I have one of those stickers on my laptop. Amazing. So we had to, and I'm sure you obviously all know this, that Growler, which is the giant bear mascot for the college, his name is Growler. And in order to sell the idea of change making, we had to relate it and tie it into the existing mythos of Georgian College. So what we did is we spun a tale how Charlie, this amazing rebel skateboarding bear, is Growler's cousin, who is a rebel with a cause. He's a renegade, loose cannon bear with crazy innovative ideas, and he's related to Charlie, thus making him and tying him back to the college. So we had to write a little story. I'm going to read it here for you just to give you some context. Hi, Grizzlies. My name is Charlie, and I am a cousin and a friend to Growler. We grew up together doing lots of berry adventures before I decided to go off and find my purpose. I came back so excited to share my expertise and love for adventures and new, thoughtful, and empathetic view of the world with Georgian College. I hope you will join me on this epic change-making adventure where you can discover how to make positive change happen. So it's essentially the mission statement where we had to start tying change-making and this idea of Charlie back into the college. So that's the little backstory. But in essence, Charlie is the symbol of change happening. And it's gone through an evolution as well, which we'll talk a little bit further down here. All right, so I'm right on point. I'm normally about 30 minutes in when I get to the bridge, so we're right on schedule here. Charlie's gonna go right down here past number 4 over this sweet ramp, and this is notoriously where the computer freezes and explodes. Hopefully it doesn't. He's going off this huge ramp and landing on number 5. So number 5, in previous sessions, before you guys all got so smart and amazing and already set up your Changemaker profiles, this would be an opportunity. And Shay, if you want to, I think I gave you a link to create your Changemaker profile. I didn't. Of course I didn't, because that would mean like we're super prepared and organized. Oh.
Yeah, we did. Okay.
Oh, we did. All right. Can you just throw it in the chat there? Most people probably already have it. So when we talk about getting connected to the center and how to get involved and what the heck is change making, the best way to do that is to set up a Changemaker profile. Shay shared the link in there. So basically you sign up for it. It gets you into our database, and ultimately it's a way for us to communicate with you directly and for you directly talk to the center and everyone involved there. So again, if you have an idea or a concept or something that you want to get off the ground or don't know where to go or want to be connected with other like-minded people that may share your vision, or you want to just have a first conversation to maybe lay the groundwork, maybe you're pursuing some funding for a really cool app or something that you've come up with that you think will have some positive change. That's the point of connecting to the center. So by creating your Changemaker profile, that's your way, it's your front door, that's your access to us. And then you're going to be kept in the loop on all the events and engagements that we have going on. So normally at this point I would say, let's go set up our profiles, but you guys already did that because you're awesome. So I'm going to blow right past that unless it doesn't need a George. Yeah. If there's any, we're right on schedule. I've been talking a lot. Does anybody have any questions or anything at this moment? Any high level questions I can maybe try to answer? No,
Brandon?
it does.
Oh,
Nope.
sorry. Brandon would like to know whether or not the IC points automatically reflect after these sessions.
So they will take up to a week to populate. So last CRW, which we ran in the fall, we rolled out the innovation capital points, which I'm going to talk about shortly. And you get the points for attending the sessions. They are supposed to auto-populate, but we've been struggling with trying to get the delay between the registration. There's lots of moving parts basically, and it doesn't happen right away. So it may take up to 2 weeks for it to happen. Basically after the week is done, everything is tallied and applied to the profiles. So it may take about a week for that to happen. Just keep track of the sessions you've attended, who your hosts were. And if you have that information, then you will definitely get your co-op credit or your Grizzly Go badge, which I know a lot of people keep asking about as well. So don't be scared with the way the points are populated on the profiles right now. It will take a little bit of time for the dust to settle and all that stuff to be accurate. And again, at any point, feel free to email me or the center. Maybe if you want to throw the center's email in there, Shay, then Vicky can triage any questions. Again, we're here to help and get it sorted. So that is my really long-winded answer. No, they will not show up right away, but they will show up eventually because we are constantly evolving and prototyping the way we're building this stuff. There you go. Perfect. Any other questions? We're right on time here. So I have if there's any other burning questions, otherwise I'll keep rolling right along with my madman's ranting and ravings here. The facilitator's name, that's me. I missed it at the beginning. Yes. So my name is, if you want to pop our names in there, Shay, you can answer that. And I will share, can you share files in Zoom anymore? Or does it have to come from a Dropbox link or something crazy?
No, it's showing computer, SharePoint, all the options there.
Really?
Yeah, in the chat.
Okay, so hold on. I'm going to share, and you guys may not, you may already have the checklist. I'm going to share the PDF for the checklist. Maybe at the end of this session, I'll keep rolling along here. Basically, that's where you can fill in the facilitator name, the session name, and your takeaway, and that's what's going to be submitted. And it's just a good way to keep track of all the sessions you participated during the week to make sure you get your points, as well as any credit for the stuff you've done. Okay, guys? Yes, so that's the broken that's the broken checklist. There is a new one. I will fish it out here at the end of this. All right, so moving right along, Charlie. Okay, we haven't broken the internet yet. I'm assuming you can still see my screen. Charlie's moving along right past these really rad looking sharks. Right over to our first interactive poll. All right, so just to recap, we've learned a little bit about the Center for Changemaking and Social Innovation. We've learned a little bit about who Charlie is. He's the bear and the symbol that represents changemaking. We've made our changemaker profiles. And then now we're going to start here. I'm going to see if this will work. I'm going to do a screen share here. Shay's going to put a link to a Microsoft poll into the chat. What you're going to do is click on the link and vote. And then I'm going to share the results in real time to see if we can get this to work here. So let's go back here and Nourish. Let's see. So she has posted the link into the chat. So if you want to take a second to click on the bit.ly link there, I'm going to see if anybody is paying attention because I can see, oh man, someone responded. I'm going to try to find, while you guys are taking a second to vote on that, I'm going to quickly look for the checklist to see if I can share it in this chat here. Amazing. Look at those, that colored pie graph lighting up there. Checklist. Here we go. CRW, student checklist fixed. That's the one we want. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can put this in the chat here. Everyone in meeting. Amazing. There we go. Yes. Okay. Did that work? Okay. Awesome. 40 responses. That means you're pretty much all, well, we got 66 people in the call, minus me and Shay, 64. So still 45, 46. This is pretty high engagement, guys. So far, you're paying attention, which is amazing. So I'm going to read this result. The question was, what should Charlie pack in his backpack before he leaves on his adventure? I gave you some fun responses there. We got leftover pizza, a nutrient-dense nut bar, half a bottle of Yop and a brown banana, the debit card, or a 2-for-1 coupon for slushies. And it looks like, by a bit of a landslide, is the leftover pizza, which is probably my favorite. I feel like it's a universally amazing food that hot or cold, it's a really delicious shape. Triangles taste delicious. That's awesome. So I got 55 responses. You guys are crushing it. And a close second is a very smart choice, a nutrient-dense nut bar. So both of these things would be amazing to have in your backpack if you're about to go on a change-making adventure. So I'm going to flip back here. So now Charlie, our change maker, he's made his profile. He knows what the center is. He's got a backpack full of cold pizza, and he's going to move on up here past this super fast lobster to right here. Let's gonna park right here for a second. So I'm going to talk a little bit about pathways for a second, and then we're gonna drop another poll link into the chat. So hopefully, I don't know, I'm going to zoom in as much as I can here. You've heard us talk a little bit about changemaker pathways, and I believe in the field guide for Changemaker and Residency Week, we reference identifying with a changemaker pathway. So these aren't necessarily like pathways that you can follow. It's kind of like an entry point to help you, because you hear the word changemaking, and then you go, well, what the heck is changemaking? What do I do? How do I get involved? Where do I start? So a changemaker pathway is essentially the first step in learning about change making or engaging in it. So we've boiled it down into these kind of 10 key entry points into change making. So what we're hoping you do is you reflect maybe on what you're taking in school, or taking at Georgian, and then you identify, you read over these change maker pathways, and then you're like, oh man, I'm really resonating with the volunteering level of change making. So then as we start to engage with you, or you participate in workshops and things like that, you might start to see the word volunteer or programming and stuff built around that specific pathway. So you know that that stuff's gonna resonate with you. So all of a sudden, I'll use the example of nursing again, where volunteering and nursing, so those things might go hand in hand. So that's maybe the amount of engagement that you want to participate in with change making, is you're going to follow this kind of pathway and choose programming and do stuff around volunteering. Or you might be an activist. You want to come up with a really cool campaign or way to create awareness about something that you believe strongly in, and you can tie that back to what you're taking at school. And again, all of these things not only are entry points into change making, they're supposed to resonate with you, and they're also just very valuable 21st century soft skills. Again, stuff that's going to look really great on your resume moving forward. We talk about digital acknowledgements and things linking back to your LinkedIn profile and stuff like that, showing that you've participated in these programmings, that you've sought out additional learning to really beef up and supercharge whatever it is you're doing. So when you land at a job, they can look at your digital track record and say, man, this person really took a lot of additional programming around policy making, and they're going to be an architect. And so then it's just going to give you that extra leg up when it comes to job hunting, is that you're going to have these extra skills to bolster some amazing opportunities with your resume. So I'm going to go right down here. There you go, Joanne. Oh, I got my next session's right at 12:30, so I'm going to tighten up a little bit. I'm going to share one little thing here. So this is an example of a couple of social worker students that they had a concept for a passive greenhouse project. So they got together, and the whole idea about the greenhouse project was they had a few moving parts, in the sense that they wanted to help teach some skills to women as far as construction and trade stuff, as well as creating some jobs. As well as also tackling hunger and being able to be self-sufficient and grow your own hunger and battle that as well. So they came up with this idea where they teamed up with local companies to put together these greenhouse kits. And so basically the women got together and were able to learn the skills how to build the greenhouses, and then the greenhouses grew food that contributed to the community. It was a really amazing project, and it was all stemmed from an idea. They connected with the center, and they were able to grow it and foster it into something amazing and make some real impact within their community. So that's just like a really little example of that. So I'm going to get Shay to throw that link, that bit.ly link in there. Amazing. So this one is going to be all about reading over the pathways. Boom. And maybe by answering one of these questions, choosing one of these will help you identify, without even knowing it, what pathway resonates with you. Here we go. They're all piling in. This one's got a bar graph instead of a pie graph. Amazing. 12 responses. Oh yeah, I want to connect with people. What is this? Yeah. And understand what they're facing. That's an empathizer. Yes, empathy is a hugely important skill. That's what a lot of our initial programming and messaging is built around, is the ability to empathize. I will be 100% honest. Before I started working with the center, I had little to no idea what empathy was, or if I was doing it correctly. But I learned a lot about it, and being able to empathize and connect, no matter what you're doing within the college or with your career, is highly, highly important. These are the types of things that can't be taught in school. They can only be, there's no specific class on empathy. These are things that you have to seek out on your own, but these are some of the skills that 21st century employers are looking for, is this empathy, collaboration, and teamwork. These are the skills that are really employable now. It's not so much, what do they say? It's not portfolio, it's personality, is kind of a term that I like to use. When I had my graphic design business, you can always teach portfolio, you can learn the skills, but it's that personality piece. It makes you super important, and being empathetic is a huge part of that. So again, by a landslide, empathy, that's really cool that everyone's connecting. And every time we run these polls, different results. So cool. Second here in the teal color, I want to work with multiple groups of people to design and develop a model and new policies. So policymaker, that's huge. That means like shaking things up from the inside. You want to climb up the corporate ranks and make some change happen. You want to rewrite the books on what you're doing and make that effect. So that's really cool that so many people are connecting with that. There you go. Beautiful. All right, so I'm going to pop back over here. I'm a little long-winded today. I'm having a lot of fun just yelling at my computer screen. Okay, so we're going to move right along. Super cool. So you guys learned a little bit about your spaceship is moving super fast. We are in hyperspace now. I'm going to pick up the slack. Charlie learned he is self-identified with a Changemaker poll. I talked a little bit about that. We're going to go right by, we're going to move right by these mega mean spiders. And we're going to go to some more talking stuff right here real quick. I'm assuming by a show of thumbs up, did anybody download or have any success? Can't see your screen. Cole. No. Krisha.
I'm still able to see
You're still able to see it? So maybe flip back to the other browser window. Perhaps if you did the poll, you might have opened up a new browser window or something like that. Just make sure that Zoom is highlighted from your bar. I'm not sure what your computer you're on. Make sure you just click on your Zoom again to make it the active. Trying to join from a laptop. Everything is fine on my end. I'm going to keep going along for the masses for the sake of it. If you can't see it, no problem. We will post the video for you to watch later on. So a lot of you guys had the opportunity to download the Roar app. I'm actually not going to hang out here too long, but if you wanted to, this is an opportunity to hold in true 21st century fashion, you can hold your $1,000 smartphone up to the computer screen and take a picture of this thing on your computer screen. And this is an augmented reality enhanced image. So you should be able to hold it up with the Roar app and scan it and see if anything additional pops up. If you wanted to throw a thumbs up in there, if you got it to work, I'll hang out here for another 30 seconds. You can give it a try. If not, there's going to be lots of opportunities moving forward as we're building our programming to engage with, there you go, engage with some of the AR stuff. We're building some virtual scavenger hunts and some other really cool stuff that's going to have you interacting with all these different platforms and this different stuff here. Amazing. All right. Perfect. Yes, that's great. Okay, so I'm going to move right along here. Charlie now he's armed with augmented reality. He's got a backpack full. He's identified with a pathway. And we're going to go right down here to see how you want to get involved with change making. So Shay's going to throw one more link into the chat. And I'm going to pop back over to here. What are we in involvement? So let's pop, boop, close all my inappropriate tabs for all my muffin recipes and knitting patterns and my BuzzFeed quiz for which Pokemon I think I am. Where are we at? We are at involvement. Okay. Here we go. Involvement. This one. Oh man, people are already responding. Again, what do we got? Number one here, the blue bar. Hopefully you can see some of this stuff. We got 19 responses. Not as engaged as the first poll. Everyone wanted to choose what went in the backpack, but nobody wants to choose how they want to get involved in change making. 32 responses. Oh man, we're lighting it up here. Yeah, soft skills that help you get a job. So it looks like, and this is probably pretty, this makes a lot of sense that everyone wants to get a job when they finish school. Like, why else would you be in school except to learn the skills to help you get a job and have a career to further yourself and your family and all those amazing things. So again, that's where change making can come in. And I referenced these very briefly here. There's a lot of programming built around it. This week is on these 21st century soft skills, these employability skills, things that you don't necessarily have a specific class for in school, but you can seek out and get this additional learning and build up this skill set. So again, when it comes time to apply for a job, you can show that you participated and that you can practice and know what empathy is. and teamwork and collaboration. So these really important things. Some really cool seeing here, the stats: network with people wanting to make change in my community. Again, with the Charlie Bear symbol and change making, it's identifying with other like-minded individuals who want to make shift happen, be shift disturbers. So it's connecting with those people. And again, that ripple effect, when you get those people together and you guys start working together, you can start to make change happen on a small scale, and it ripples outwards. So that's really cool seeing these responses, guys, and what everyone's here for. So it's cool that, again, that you chose this session. You're in the right place. Hopefully you're learning a little bit about what it is. Really amazing stuff. All right, so I'm going to go down here. So this used to be super top secret, and I had a big black box over this section here. And it used to be about before it was built. So this is months ago when we were just starting to get going with building avatars and the leaderboards and innovation capital. Hopefully some of those words make sense to you. I was telling everybody that it was coming and that we were building it. But by participating in this, I can tell that everyone has already set up their profiles. I've had a few questions about innovation capital. So again, for a real top level recap, innovation capital is basically the digital point system that we've come up with to help you track and measure your change-making involvement well at Georgian and beyond. So again, all these points as you participate in programming and messaging and learn these skills, those points are attributed to your changemaker profile, and that translates to digital acknowledgements. I can't use the word micro-credential, we call them patches, but essentially they are acknowledgements that are recognized and that come from Georgian and the center that can be associated to your LinkedIn profile, showing that you took this programming. So again, bolstering and beefing up your resume to help you be more employable. So innovation capital is the same as, I might date myself here, Popsicle Pete points or Pepsi points or any other type of reward system that you may have experienced in your life. So it's just a way to measure and gauge that stuff. So when you hear innovation capital, that's what we're talking about. Okay, so Charlie's going to go right down here to number 9. Number 9 is engagement. So Shay's going to share another, the very last poll. You guys are doing amazing. I like to see the high engagement. You guys are doing great. And we're right on time. I'm going to pop back over here to engagement. So we had involvement, not to be confused with engagement. So I'm going to click over here. I'm going to share the results in real time. Let me just read over the questions. Now that you know a little more about change making, what do you want to do next? So by answering this helps us tailor and build things that kind of meet you where you're at, how you want to get involved. So you just want to follow us on social media and throw some likes and some thumbs up and follow our hashtags to kind of just keep a finger on what's going on. You want to engage in change-making workshops like this and the rest of Changemaker and Residency Week. Learn the skills and mindsets and use them to make change. So again, as you're learning these skills, you get to start to put them into practice and build things that actually will make some change happen. Have engaging conversations about change making with classmates and faculty and staff at Georgian. So again, connecting with, do you just want to meet other people? We have Charlie & Co., which is a group we've built as well. So it's like kind of a more private group. It's open. It's not an exclusive club by any means. Essentially, it's just a tighter knit group of people that are really passionate and really highly engaged change makers. So again, getting all those people together on one spot and building stuff together, and using change making as a way to gain skills and mindsets to help me get a job. Again, super important. That's another one that obviously we're all here. 50 responses, which means that almost everybody on the call is paying attention and actually clicked on the link. So this is pretty cool. And it looks like a pretty close tie between learning the skills and mindsets and using change making to get a job. Obviously, no brainer. Who would not want a job after spending thousands of dollars at school? I get it. And I think that's amazing. I got 52 responses. You guys are amazing. I can't believe that's like what do we have, 60 on the call? So that's a really high math, insert math there. And that's how many people we have. That's a really high percentage of engagement. So I'm going to go right. I'm going to zoom out. Okay, so now we've answered all these polls. We figured out how we want to get involved, what types of change making we might want to do. We identified with a change maker pathway. We learned about the center. We learned who Charlie was. And now for the final part, we even learned about innovation capital. So the last part of our change making adventure is our final boss battle. So what we used to do when we came into your classroom or we would see you on campus is we had this thing called a thumb ball. And it's essentially a soccer ball. I normally have one here, but I do not right this second. It's a thumb ball. You would throw it, you'd catch it, and wherever your thumb landed on that panel would be a question, a stimulating conversation question that we'd all answer and engage with. Since we cannot do that virtually, through the power of the internet, I have built this amazing spinning wheel. There we go. I'm going to spin it. You don't necessarily need to shade that. That's okay. Don't click on that link that Shay put there. Don't worry at all. I'm going to spin the wheel here, guys. It's going to land on one of these questions, and then we're all going to take a second to throw our answers back in the chat. I'm going to stop the screen share, and then we have about 5 minutes if we had any questions or anything like that. So here we go. I think 1, 2, 3. It even has a cool sound effect. I paid extra for that, I think. There we go. So for those of you who may not be able to read the screen share, the question that the amazing wheel landed on was, what is the #1 thing on your bucket list? So for those of you who may not know, a bucket list is just a list of things that you wanted to accomplish before your end of life, before you're no longer around. What is something that you may want to do? Maybe it's eating something, maybe it's traveling to space, maybe it's both of those things together, eating something in space. There you go, skydiving, get a tattoo, seeing the world and learning cultures. Yeah, so a lot of people already kind of like have started to build a bucket list. Again, it may not be called that where you're from, but that's okay. Just a list of things that you want to accomplish. Very cool. Travel to the UK, volunteer at a sanctuary, get a bigger bucket. I love it. So cool. Be your own boss and entrepreneur. Such a good, lot of travel stuff. I know it's a bummer right now. A lot of really big bummer with obviously everything going on. Travel stuff has all been put on hiatus, so that's a tough one. I know let's put a pin in it because we will get there. We will get back to there. Super tough right now. Explore the world. Yeah, sometimes you forget how isolated you are and like how much other amazing stuff is going on out there. Scuba diving. Yeah, so cool. All right, I'm going to stop my share here. I'm going to keep my chat open. I got about 5 minutes before I have to directly hop into another call. So if there's anybody, I'm going to stop talking because I've been yelling at my microphone for 45 minutes now. Living life to its fullest, living peacefully and beautiful. Yeah, watching Netflix. There you go. You got to make sure if you get a country home that you have kick-ass Wi-Fi, because that's the hard part about living rural. Because I have dreams of having a hobby farm with my wife and my 2 kids, but I also need amazing internet so I can do this stuff. So cool. Does anybody have any questions for me or Shay or about change making or about the center? I will do my best to answer. I am by no means the ultimate authority on any of these things, but I will give it my best shot or direct you to somebody who may know. Wi-Fi in space is pretty good. Yes, Millennium Falcon has a kick-ass data plan, unlimited data. How do you suggest we get involved? That's a great question. So essentially right now, if you've created a Changemaker profile, you are on our list. We are currently rolling out our newsletters, which give all the programming and stuff we have built, just like Changemaker and Residency Week, which is run every semester. So it's a ton of like condensed programming. If you just want to connect directly with the center, I can give you some more granular details about how to get connected to very specific things that may interest you. At a real high level, we also have Charlie and Company, which is another highly engaged group of people that has programming built around change making and getting ideas off the ground and connecting them. Yeah, so that's your best way. So if you've signed up for the profile, you're on the mailing list, You can also reach out to us again directly at CCSI at Georgian College, and then you'll be able to get connected with and get kind of our list of what we have going on as we're building all of our engagements and programming. How many workshops must you participate in to earn the badge? So I believe it's 5 is kind of what we've done. It was a little bit of confusion with point totals and stuff between co-op. So in the previous one, we've tried to like eliminate and make it very common language that it's basically you need 5 sessions. The point totals don't necessarily equate to getting the badge or not. It's just the just participating in the 5 sessions. Make sure you record them onto that PDF checklist there, because that's what you're going to submit to get your Grizzly Go badge. That's the one where you're going to be able to submit that and prove that you attended the programming, and you'll get the actual digital acknowledgement for saying that you went to all this stuff. 15 points. There you go. And I think that equates to 5 sessions depending on the engagement level. The points, the sessions, the point values for the sessions. A highly engaged session is 3, and a passive session, which is like watching a video, which is some of the sessions, are 1 point. So hopefully that clarifies a little bit of that. There's a ton of answers on the YouTube channel about stuff as well. There you go. Yes, there you go. Facilitator's name. So if you need to populate your thing, again, if you have any questions about who was running a session or how to get connected, email ccsi@georgiancollege.ca. The amazing Vicky Ball, who's on the receiving end of that email and keeps an eye on that inbox, will be able to triage anything to the appropriate parties within the week. Do you want to throw that checklist back in there? Getting lots of requests for the checklist. Yeah, it wasn't until everything went live that we realized that the checklist was built incorrectly and all the boxes auto-populated. All right, cool. Good question. Good question. I guess your main point of contact, faculty. So who do we put for our faculty on the change-making checklist? Put Jen. Cool. All right. I think that's everything. I'm going to stop the recording. Stop recording, which is amazing. I'm going to